What's up, everybody, and welcome to Matchday 14. I do have to apologize that the video is coming out late. I've had some personal things going on. Nothing bad, just very busy, but here we are, Matchday 14. Also, before we jump into the predictions, thank you all so much. We have hit 700 subscribers. We are on our way to that 1,000 subscriber mark, and I'm super excited about it. Everybody in the live streams are awesome, but here we go. First matchup of the weekend, we have Charlotte FC versus Nashville SC. These two teams have only played each other one time, and Charlotte won that match 4-1 over Nashville back in July. Both teams are in very good form right now. Charlotte are 4 wins and a loss in their last 5, where Nashville are 4 wins and a draw in their last 5. I think this is going to be a good matchup. I think that they're considering this a rival. I'm not 100% sure. But with both of these teams playing as well as they are, I think that Nashville walk away with a point there in Charlotte, and I think it ends in a 1-1 draw. So next up, we have DC United versus LA Galaxy. Currently, DC United are 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses in their last 5, where LA Galaxy are 2 wins and 3 losses in their last 5. DC United did go into Subaru Park and walk away with a point last weekend, whereas LA Galaxy did lose to a very good Columbus Crew on the road. Between these two sides, I believe that DC United are the better team. They are at home at Audi Field, and I believe that they're going to get the job done. LA Galaxy are still struggling. DC, though, have not been in very good form in these last 4 weeks, but I think they get the job done at home. I think that they beat LA Galaxy 1-0 at Audi Field. So next up, I think, is the biggest matchup of the weekend. We have FC Cincinnati against Columbus Crew, the showdown there in Ohio. These two teams, though, they have matched up against each other 11 times. FC Cincinnati have only won 2 of them. They have drawn 4 times, and Columbus have won this matchup 5 times. The last time that these two teams did play, they did play at TQL Stadium, and it was a 2-2 draw. Both teams are in phenomenal form. I wish that I could go to this game, to be honest with you. Currently, FC Cincinnati are 4 wins and a draw in their last 5, where Columbus Crew are 3 wins, a draw, and a loss in their last 5. Even though these two teams are playing fantastic right now and are in really good form, I have to give the edge to FC Cincinnati. They are at home. They are playing very good soccer right now, and I actually think they get the job done at home 2-1 over Columbus Crew. So next up, we go to another state that have 2 teams playing against each other. We have Inter Miami versus Orlando City there in Florida. These 2 teams against each other, Miami have won it 3 times. They have drawn twice, and Orlando has won it 5 times there in this matchup. But the last time that these 2 teams played, they did play in Miami, and Miami beat Orlando City 4-1 back in October. Currently, Inter Miami are 4 wins and a loss in their last 5, and that loss was last weekend against Nashville SC, but they were playing at Geodis Park, and Nashville are in very good form right now. For Orlando, they are a win, 2 draws, and 2 losses in their last 5. With this being the showdown there in Florida, I know that Orlando is kind of struggling, but I think that they get lucky and walk away with a point. I think that this game also ends in a draw, and I believe it ends in a 2-2 draw. So moving on, we have New York Red Bull versus CF Montreal. New York Red Bull currently are 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in their last 5, where Montreal are 4 wins and a loss in their last 5. They are coming off a loss to FC Cincinnati 3-0. That is one that we watched the live stream for. We saw goals, but I thought that it was going to be a little bit closer than 3-0. Montreal struggled pretty much the whole game, could not get anything started against Cincinnati. Where New York Red Bull played against Toronto FC in Toronto, and they walked away with a point, and that match ended in a 0-0 draw, which 0-0 draws suck. We all know that. But I don't believe that we get a 0-0 draw here. I actually think the Red Bull get the job done at home over CF Montreal. I know that this is kind of a surprise-ish pick, but I'm going to have to go with the Red Bull 1-0 at Red Bull Arena. So another good match this week that I think is going to be a good one is Philadelphia Union against New England Revolution. Currently, Philadelphia are 3 wins, a draw, and a loss in their last 5, where the Revs are 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5. New England came out on fire, but they are currently on a 2-game losing streak, where Philadelphia Union are on a 4-game unbeaten streak. I know that I have picked 2 draws already in this video, but I have to pick another one here. I think that this ends in a 1-1 draw. Both of these sides are very good teams, in my opinion. Philadelphia, yes, has struggled this season, but currently they're on a 4-game unbeaten streak, and I think that Revs come in, though, to Subaru Park and get a point, and I think they draw 1-1 there in Philadelphia. So that takes us to a matchup of 2 teams that I think are disappointing a lot of people this season, and that is Austin FC versus Toronto FC. Currently, Austin are 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in their last 5, where Toronto are 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses in their last 5. Austin, however, did go on the road and beat Seattle at Lumen Field, but we have seen that already, that teams are going into Seattle and winning there at Lumen Field, which I'm very surprised, and their coach has even said they're not playing up to their standards, so I think that might change going forward for teams coming into Lumen Field. Then Toronto drew last weekend midweek, not last weekend, midweek, with the Red Bulls 0-0 at home. So Toronto are still struggling, cannot get it together, and I think that Austin get the job done here at Q2 Stadium. Coming off of that high against Seattle and winning in Seattle, I think that they win this match 2-1 over Toronto FC. Now that takes us to Chicago Fire versus Atlanta United. Currently, Chicago Fire are 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5, where Atlanta United are 1 win and 4 losses in their last 5. They are coming off of a big victory against Colorado, and they won that match 4-0 midweek, which I was pretty surprised. Very happy, though. And I think that they continue their winning streak here. Winning streak. They start a winning streak here. And I think that they go into Chicago and win this match 2-1. So that takes us to another Texas matchup. We have FC Dallas against Houston Dynamo. These 2 teams against each other. FC Dallas have won this match 14 times against Houston. They have drawn 11 times, and Houston has only won 6 of them. Currently, FC Dallas are 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5 matches, where Houston are 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5. Now, it looks very different on both sides, even though that is the same form in the last 5. But FC Dallas are currently on a 2-game winning streak, and Houston are on a 2-game losing streak. With the way that these 2 teams have been playing this year, I think this is going to be a very good matchup. It's going to be a very close matchup, and it's so close that I think that it ends in a 1-1 draw. I know nothing exciting there, but yes, I think it ends in a 1-1 draw there at Toyota Stadium. So next up, we have Colorado Rapid versus Real Salt Lake. Currently, Colorado are 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in the last 5. Real Salt Lake are 1 win, 3 draws, and a loss in their last 5. Currently, Colorado are on a 2-game losing streak, and Real Salt Lake drew last week to the Portland Timbers 0-0. We had way too many 0-0 draws last match day, and I keep saying last weekend, and it wasn't the freaking weekend. It was midweek, so I apologize on that. Anyway, I think that Real Salt Lake go into Colorado and get the job done here, and by a narrow margin. I feel like Real Salt Lake are very good on the road for some reason, and I think that they win this match 1-0 over Colorado. Next up, we have St. Louis City versus Sporting Kansas City. St. Louis did get to sit out midweek, and they did not have a match, where Sporting Kansas City played against LAFC in LA and got a draw. Currently, St. Louis City is 1 win, a draw, and 3 losses in their last 5. Currently on a 3-game losing streak. Very surprised with how they started out in the season. And I can't believe they're currently on a 3-match losing streak there. But anyway, Sporting Kansas City, though, 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5. I think, though, even though Sporting Kansas City has looked really good, I think St. Louis, they had time to think about this while everyone else had to play midweek. And I'm not saying that, like, fitness-wise. I'm saying they got to kind of take a breath. And I think that St. Louis get the job done at home. And I think that they beat Sporting 3-1 there in St. Louis. So next up, we have a matchup there in California. We have LAFC versus San Jose Earthquake. These two teams have never drawn against each other. LAFC have won this matchup 8 times. San Jose won this matchup 6 times. The last time that they played, it was in San Jose, and San Jose won 2-1 over LAFC. Currently, though, LAFC are 3 wins, a draw, and a loss in their last 5, where San Jose are 1 win, a draw, and 3 losses in their last 5. So they were pretty hot, went on like a little bit of a cold streak, won and drew a couple games, and then now they lost last week against LA Galaxy, which in my opinion they should not have lost against LA Galaxy, but they were in LA. So they make another trip to LA there, and again I think that they lose in LA, even though it's a different team, and I think it's going to be the same score line. I think that LAFC win this match against San Jose 2-1 there in LA. So our second to last matchup, we have Portland Timbers versus Minnesota United. Currently, Portland are 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in their last 5, where Minnesota are 1 win, a draw, and 3 losses in their last 5. They did win over Houston Dynamo midweek, and Timbers drew with Real Salt Lake 0-0. Again, too many 0-0 draws that I do not like. But I will have to say that Minnesota go into Providence Park and win this matchup. I know that I usually talk very highly of Providence Park, but I just have a gut feeling that Minnesota United go in and win this matchup 2-0 over the Timbers. So that takes us to our final matchup of the weekend. We have Vancouver Whitecaps versus Seattle Sounders. Currently, the Whitecaps are 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5, where Seattle are 1 win, a draw, and 3 losses in their last 5. I think that I would say the Whitecaps would win this matchup at home, but with Seattle losing at home last weekend against a struggling Austin, and then the coach even coming out and saying, they're not playing up to standard, I think that lights a little bit of a fire under Seattle, and I think Seattle go into Vancouver and win this matchup 2-1. And I just got a feeling that that's going to happen because of how the coach had said it publicly in a press conference. So I'm going to have to go Seattle 2-1 over the Whitecaps. So that is it for the video. Please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you like the content. Again, I have to thank everyone for, the 700 mark. We're still growing. And until the next video, we'll see you then.